So now let's talk about some of the rookie quarterbacks. So pretty much what we're gonna do is just rank our top five rookie quarterbacks from this year's class and just talk about what each quarterback has done good, which each quarterback has done bad. A lot of them have done more bad than good, but we're here to make our top five ranking.
And these are only
So
the quarterbacks that have actually played. Like Trey Lance hasn't played, Kellen Mond hasn't played, Kyle Trask hasn't played. Just the ones that have actually had game time.
uh-huh. So I'm gonna start off with my number five quarterback, Zach Wilson. He hasn't played that much, but the thing with Zach Wilson is he has the worst quarterback rating and the lowest completion percentage, but he's also thrown 11 picks while playing like the least out of the five quarterbacks we have on this list. And one thing about Zach Wilson is he actually has some pretty good wide receivers like Corey Davis, Jameson Crowder, Elijah Moore. So I feel like, and when they are actually pretty good, like route runners as well. So I feel like some of them get open. He doesn't see the open receivers and he doesn't hit his open receivers, which you can see why he already has 11 interceptions, only playing 10 games. And he obviously also has the worst quarterback rating. Who do you have
Yeah.
at five?
I also have Wilson at 5. And it's fairly obvious if you look at the statistics that he's the worst out of them all. He's played the least games, yet he has the second most picks compared to the other guys, which is never a good sign. And I think the biggest problem I have with him is that he's not succeeding in the system that he has when other people can succeed. Like if you look at Mike White, you saw Mike White come up and throw 400 yards against the Bengals. But Zach Wilson just isn't doing that, right? Zach Wilson isn't able to throw 400 yards against the Bengals. That's what Mike White does. He needs to learn how to play in the system and throw to open receivers.
Mhm. And the thing,
So
yeah, you can go.
So he also has like the one of the lowest rushing like yardages out of all of them, which is weird when you think of Zach Wilson, you think of like a Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers type player who can run, roll out, scramble, and make some throws with sneaky athleticism. But he has 4 fumbles, only 2 rushing touchdowns, and only 70 rushing yards on the season, which is nothing near Fields or Trevor Lawrence. So his rushing upside isn't there. It's just like he's just an overall not very effective quarterback right now.
And the thing is, when Sam Darnold was selected in New York a couple years ago, and when he didn't succeed there, for a couple of seasons, people blamed Adam Gase, and Adam Gase was an actually bad coach. But now you have Robert Saleh, who came from 49ers. He's a great coach, and I feel like they have a good coaching staff there in New York now. So now you can't blame the coaching staff. Now this is on the quarterback, not the coach.
Yes.
All right. So my number 4 quarterback is Houston Texans quarterback Davis Mills. And compared to all the other quarterbacks on the list, one thing about Mills is that he has the least weapons. His best receiver is Brandon Cooks. And other than that, he really doesn't have anything. He started the year as a backup and came on to replace Tyrod Taylor. And the thing with Mills compared to all the other quarterbacks on our list here is they were selected in the first round while he was actually selected in the third round. So he wasn't even supposed to be that good compared to these guys, at least pre-draft opinion like wise. But he has the second highest completion rate, and he has more touchdowns than interceptions. So he's solid, and he doesn't even have that many weapons. So I think he slots in here at number 4.
Yeah, he's beaten Trevor Lawrence head to head already. We just saw that last week, or no, like 3 days ago, right? So he's beaten them head to head, and he has the worst team pound for pound compared to the other teams. Like you could say Jaguars are worse, but he has better running backs and better receivers like Trevor Lawrence. So what Mills has done is impressive because he's like putting up 300 yards a game, and he's like successfully moving the ball down the field. And yes, you could say that he checks the ball down. He doesn't have a high average depth of target, but that is fine because as long as you're moving the ball down the field for your offense, you're still giving your offense a chance to win, and you're getting some optimism about their future because you're running a successful team. That's what you need to do to win.
Oh yeah, and by the way, Davis Mills was at 4 for both of us.
Yes, yeah. He's my 4th quarterback too.
My number 3, this might surprise some people that have him a bit lower than other people, but I got Justin Fields. One thing about Justin Fields is he's a dual threat quarterback. He can run and he can pass. That's like his upside. So Justin Fields, if you look at the stats, he's like the middle out of these five in just like completion rate, touchdowns, interceptions, quarterback rating. Like he is around the middle, but he does have the highest rushing yards with 400 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. One thing I do think he needs to improve on is fumbles, as he's fumbled the most out of all of the players here with 12.
All the players in the league, like he leads the league in fumbles.
Yeah, he leads the league, not just these rookie quarterbacks. So that's why Fields comes in at 3 for me. Who do you have at number 3?
At 3, I have Trevor Lawrence. Look, I get that Fields has fumbled a lot, but he has been the most like not just exciting, but the most like effective quarterback between the two of moving their offense down the field. When I look at a quarterback, I look, can you move your offense down the field?
Yeah.
And Trevor Lawrence can't move his offense down the field. Trevor Lawrence has thrown 14 interceptions, which is like you can't throw that many interceptions and still be an effective quarterback, right? And Trevor Lawrence has like simply he has been better than Mills, he's been better than Wilson, but he hasn't been as good as Justin Fields has. He hasn't been able to run the ball as effectively or like throw as like effectively as Justin Fields, in my opinion. Justin Fields, I have him above Trevor Lawrence because of his rushing upside. He gets out. He has pretty bad pass blocking, but he gets out and he can run the ball for a first down, and he provides some life to the Bears' stagnant offense, which Trevor Lawrence can't do.
But one thing I do want to say, one reason why I feel like Trevor Lawrence hasn't been so good on the passing side is actually Urban Meyer. And he did get fired last week, but Urban Meyer, one thing he didn't really use properly or was James Robinson. And James Robinson last year, his rookie season, coming into the year, he was now projected to be that good. And by the end of the season, he was top 5, if I'm not mistaken, in rushing yards as a rookie running back who wasn't even supposed to be good. So when you have a running back like that and coming into his second year in the NFL, you project some good things for him. Maybe not as good as top 3 rushing yards in the league, but he's going to be a really good running back. That's what we all thought. But Urban Meyer didn't use James Robinson properly, and he didn't give him his chances. And Trevor Lawrence wanted he wanted James Robinson to get his chances. And since he didn't get his chances, that, in my opinion, forced Trevor Lawrence to throw more, leading to more interceptions, more bad throws, more incompletions, and a worse chance at leading the team downfield. And that's more of a coaching problem than a Trevor Lawrence's personal problem. And one thing with Trevor Lawrence is, while his rushing upside isn't as high as Justin Fields, we've seen him succeed in Clemson as a dual threat quarterback. So I feel like although he hasn't been as good, I feel like his number 1 pick potential still can be there. That's why I have him slotted slightly ahead of Fields. But I feel like you can interchange those guys 2 and 3, and I'd be happy putting Fields at 2, other vice versa. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be too mad.
Yeah. Also, disclaimer, guys, none of these guys are busts. We're not saying that any of them are busts. They all have immense potential. They all have the chance to grow. We're just ranking their first season so far. Yeah. Like, we're not saying any of them are failures right now. We're just saying that so far they haven't lived up to their hype, or that's why they're at the bottom of the list, like Zach Wilson. So they need to improve. Like, they can definitely improve what they need to improve. That's what we're saying. Like,
just because we put Zach Wilson at 5 right now doesn't mean he can't win an MVP in 5 years or so. Like,
yes,
so he can. It's just like right now what we're seeing this season.
Yeah.
So now that we've talked about our top 4, I mean, number 1's pretty obvious. You go ahead and say it.
Mac Jones, welcome.
Yeah, Mac Jones. I mean, he's just another quarterback that fits perfectly into that Patriot system. Bill Belichick and his squad over there have been doing it for 15, 20 years now. And as soon as Brady leaves, within a season of having Cam Newton, they get their guy in the draft who succeeded in Alabama, and they get another guy who works perfectly in their system, the Patriot way, Mac Jones. Like you saw, he'll do what it takes to win. So if that means just attempting 3 throws, or if that means carrying the load of the offense, like he'll do enough to win the football game for your team. Not too much, not too less. Like if he does too much, it might like cause an interceptions like Trevor Lawrence, or like, so he just does enough, I think, to win the football game while also keeping his stats up. And He by far has the most touchdowns, has the best quarterback rating, of course. Like, he is the unanimous number one quarterback of this class so far this season. If you ask anybody, that doesn't mean he's going to be the number one if we talk about this 5 years later. But right now, he's the number one. Your thoughts on Mac?
Yeah, Mac Jones currently he should be in the rookie of the year. He's leading that just because quarterbacks are so important. And without Mac Jones, the Patriots would not be as good as they are. If they had rolled with Cam Newton from last year, they wouldn't be one of the competing for the number one seed. It's just insane how good Mac Jones is doing what Bill Belichick is telling him to do. The Patriots, they have the best offensive line in the league, a really good running game. So all he needs is Mac Jones, or what he needs Mac Jones to do is like throw 200, 220 yards a game and just manage the offense. Like, don't fail, don't throw interceptions. But you don't need to go make plays and carry the offense. You just need to manage it. And he's doing that very effectively, very well. And he's undoubtedly the best quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with what you said there. Thanks for watching. This is actually a clip from our brand new podcast, After the Whistle. So you can actually go watch, or listen actually to the whole entire thing with the link in the description. That's gonna bring you to the Spotify. So you can listen to the whole entire thing. Click that link in the description. This is just a clip. But yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe and let us know what you guys think about any of these 5 quarterbacks and if we missed any quarterbacks that you think should be on this list. But yeah, bye and have a great day.